Fresh off the track with Fox Valley Britska. He raced all right. I looked at the program and I'm like, surely there's going to be some horses running. I know there wasn't a lot of front end speed inside of me. I figured I'd land down 4th, 3rd, 5th, whatever. But it became pretty evident going into the first turn that I could either jam him into the 3-hole, which I haven't gone with Britska in a long time, but he didn't ever like to be jammed anywhere. Drive him into a hole, settle him into a hole, but to double him up and snug him into a hole, just get yourself in trouble. And usually what happens is I double him up, try and get him in a hole, realize I can't, have to get going. At that point, the front end's already comfortable, and he's like, I think you can just stay there. Especially we were a little bit longer odds. I thought he was going to be a lot, have a lot better chance than 22-1. And to be honest, if you had asked me at the half, I'd say he was going to be real close. I was going to let Sylvain go when he came, but as we got to the turn, his horse got twisted around, put a couple of steps in, and I was like, nah, you stay out there. So James had said to me after, he goes, hey, race good. He said, obviously got a little tired. He's got some muscle and fat to put on. He's never carried a lot of weight, but they said he's eating good now, and his stress level's down. You can tell in the post-parade he's not as wiry as he used to be. If you guys just go back and look at his videos last year, remember how crazy this horse was? Now he's a little more chill. And if I had a little more faith in him without hobbles, that I could drive him in a little more, I don't mean aggressive in the way to push him to the front, but a little more aggressive way where I could, jam him into that 3-hole, he would have been in there. Nevertheless, he's a small horse, probably suited real good for a half-mile track, but at the same time, I don't mind racing him in there if they're going to go in 59. I don't really want to be on the front. As I was saying, James had said to me pulling up, remember when we were training him down, he wasn't ever really awesome on the front. He's right, he wasn't. Now, around the last turn, he felt awesome, but I think he just ran out of fuel. I mean, here's a horse that's coming back off a layoff after racing 7 subpar starts this year after qualifying so good. So really a mixed bag of a 2-year-old season for Britska, but he did everything right tonight. I mean, as I said, I didn't really want to be on the front, but that's just, as I said, 2 rules. Play the hand you're dealt, and the number 1 rule of trotters is keep them trotting. As I went to grab him, when Sylvain kind of snuck in behind me, I said, I don't want to put him on the run. I don't want to get him angry. I'm pretty sure Dougie's going to cut me loose. It's not like his horse was 1-9, and he did. So we ended up with not a bad trip. He was a tiring 5th, probably come 30 and a piece, 31 on a real cold night. But as he puts weight and muscle on, the thing I liked the most about him tonight is that he was behaved. Right? I might have ended up on the front, but I didn't blast right out of there. 3 of them looped us, or 1 of them looped us off the gate, a couple of them left, and he kind of just sat there, and when I realized no one was making a break, there was no holes, there was no vacancy at the Race 1 hotel, I had to push on. And when I did, he was completely compliant. As soon as I made front, he came back to me. When he heard Sylvain coming, he got aggressive, and I could have let him go. I could have. I chose not to. So, happy with Britska. He's got a lot. He doesn't have a lot to work on other than muscle and putting some fat on him. As I said to them, if he's eating good, I'd like to see 50 or 60 pounds put on this horse. And I think this is a time of year we can do it when, I shouldn't say that. In past, we had Christmas holidays off. I believe Woodbine's racing right through Christmas holidays this year. So we'll see what plays out with Britska. I'm not in any hurry to run him into the ground or and for the people that think that trip tonight hurt him, it didn't at all. He's always been a tough little bugger, and I was actually very surprised how compliant this horse has become. When you get those horses that are just raging hot, go back and look at his qualifier when he went in 59, how crazy he was. He run away with me over to the half, and then to see a horse go from wearing hobbles tight and being hot and being wiry and being rude, for the first part of his life, right up until a little bit like Brilliant Corners, right? And then to see him tonight behave so well, I guess there's part of me wishes I had pulled a James and just drug him off the gate and got away 7th or 8th, and saw how he finished up. I guess, yeah, there is a part of me that wishes maybe James drove him tonight, but at the same time, I'm not really concerned about Fox Valley Britska. I was very impressed with what I saw from him tonight. Just didn't get the trip that we wanted. Cavill Hanover's race was canceled today. I guess they got dumped on in the Eastern Seaboard in the U.S. New York get dumped on. Pennsylvania get dumped on. Tim said the track was terrible today. He trained Ailson because she's coming back Saturday, so he trained her off the gate. He said it was muddy today. Trained her off the gate because we wanted to enter her here at Mohawk. I want to get her racing. Now, we do have some big news. Kevin had come to me the other day and said, listen, I'm not a spring chicken, and racing horses is stressful. And I know Kevin just takes his job so seriously that he gets stressed out. This is the holidays. We're in the middle of a pandemic, but this is the holidays. And the last thing I want is people being stressed out. And I told him, whatever you want to do, if you need to take some time off, if you want to quit, whatever you need, I'll be supportive. And if you do want to leave, that door is always open. Kevin's been good to the stable, and I hope he feels that we've been good to him. So he waited a couple of days, and he messaged me back, and he said, how about this? I believe the most stressful part of my life is racing horses. So why don't I cut that out for a little bit? Why don't I just train horses back, give my race horses to Jason, Harry, whatever you want to do. I've talked to my wife about it. I've looked at it long and hard and thought, the stressful part I'm talking about is on the track. So I said, sure, no problem. So tomorrow you're going to see Don't Believe Me, Just Watch entered at London in the condition claimer with Harry Poulton down as trainer. You're going to see both Brave World and Donover race under Jason McGinnis next week. I believe Brave World should go to Harry. I mean, Harry, that's the type of horse for Harry, right? Nice, chilled, relaxed, classy old horse. He'll go to Harry. Now, we're going to continue to move a number of horses around. Obviously, this isn't a minor shuffling. This is a fairly substantial thing. At the same time, Kevin will train them down, qualify them, and then we'll move them out, much like we do with everybody in the summer. So I'm glad that Kevin opted to stay on. I got a lot of respect for him. He's been a great guy for us. And if he changes his tune down the road and wants to train and race, as I said, so be it. But for right now, our race horses, Johnny McKinnon has some, Mario has some. The vast majority of, or all of Kevin's barn will probably be swapped out with Harry and Jason. Jason has some horses training back. Harry has some horses training back. We'll swap those out for, the time of Houdini. He'll be going to Harry. Brave World, and just Kevin's horses. You guys go back and look at Kevin's video, how many horses he has ready. Watch Avenue trained here in 2-3, I guess the other day. Broadway Roll, 2-5. Zeb Sunshine, 2-5 or 2-3, something like that. So he's got a ton of horses getting ready, and we'll swap those out. So absolutely ton of respect for Kevin, and I appreciate that he came to me. Last thing I want is people getting stressed out. I mean, we try to run, this is a stressful job, obviously, but we try to run it in such a manner that our trainers feel comfortable in doing what they do, and certainly want to make sure that resonates with Kevin. So a few little changes coming forward in the next couple of weeks, but for the most part it is business as usual. As I said, happy with Britska tonight. I'm not going to say I was unhappy with my drive. I played the hand I was dealt. I don't think there was any other way. Even if I let him trot one step forward out of the gate, that's what would have happened, or got parked. Otherwise, I would have had to drag him off the gate, and I'm just not a drag him off the gate type of guy. So I'm very happy with Britska tonight. I think that's a class he can do in. Obviously, this is a horse that trained back, qualified in 2-1. Now trotted in 2 minutes and a bit tonight. I think he'll get better every week, and I think he'll fit this class well. So, nice little racehorse. Very happy with him. Very happy with his attitude and his manners. And I think there's brighter days ahead for our boy Britska. So that is it for tonight. Obviously, the biggest news is the open house tomorrow. I hope you guys tune in 10 to 2. And then we're going to be scrambling after that. I got to get to London and race Jesse Balboa at 4:45. Then get in the car, come right back to Mohawk to race Donover tomorrow night. I have time, but between getting up early to make sure everything's set up and ready to go for the open house, being in the open house, racing Jesse Balboa, racing Donover, it's safe to say Anthony's going to sleep fairly well on Friday evening. So I hope you guys tune in tomorrow. It's going to be a fantastic show. I'm really excited about it and everything coming after it. I'll talk to you guys soon. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope you have a better one tomorrow.